welcome back to everyone. If you are back early, this is what I want to get all of us to do. Head over to the Jamboard, okay, and to the next page, you will find this thing here. Okay, so looks like everyone is back. Give me a little heart shape if you are enjoying this so far. Yeah, okay. Yingbao says, sorry, room 6, I got kicked out suddenly. I hit the wrong keynote key. Okay, good. Yeah, we're seeing all the hardships. Very nice. Okay, now, what an interesting thing. We have covered 3 key things here tonight. We look at the different techniques. Now, one of the most important things in every coaching conversation, it's not what is learned, but what is integrated after the learning, right? So what we're going to do here is click on the Jamboard just down below, and we're going to hit there together. Okay, it's on this slide here. Let's celebrate our learnings. I want everyone right now to try this out. Okay, click on the sticky note, type one thing that you would like to implement right after this call. I call this process the goal. Okay, what is one thing you're going to do? So for example, I said, okay, I am going to try the if. Okay, and I'm going to use this, right? So, but I am going to keep it an open if. Okay, so, and try it in my team tomorrow. Okay, so give a timeline when you want to use this, right? So post a sticky note here, right? And we're going to celebrate learning. Now, if someone in your room has impacted you, has touched you, or has said something that really really supported you in your learning in the last one and a half hours, I want you to also thank that person. Hey, a big shout out to, okay, celebrate each other here. This is a really important board because this is our combined learning. So take a moment right now, post some of your learnings here, and I will be answering some of your questions as we're looking at all your learnings. Okay, so the link is found in the chat box down below. Continue to post your learnings as I answer some of the questions here. Now, very good. We're seeing all the learnings response come here. Okay, now I will be answering some of the questions in our parking lot. We try to squeeze as much lesson. We had one very interesting question. Did you EQ your microphone to focus a bit more on the deeper tones? I know it adds credibility. How important is that in delivering coaching? Someone asked a really beautiful question on the microphone. So this microphone here, it's just a microphone. There's no EQ. I have not turned on all my device or my EQing. So that's just the natural voice just going in. So one of the things, voice is very important over Zoom. Beyond the video, right? Even if I cannot see your videos, if I can hear your voice and I can feel very comforted, that would be really good. Can you imagine if I talk like that to you today? I say, "Hey Eva, how are you doing today?" You know, it's gonna be really really strange for everyone because it's just irking her all together, right? So one of the things that I do a lot is voice coaching. I help a lot of people with their voice, and I've been doing that a lot. Voice works and voice coaching, and that is a really important element, especially for mentoring, coaching, speaking, teaching. I've helped a lot of teachers as well, and teachers lose their voice all the time because they have not had proper technique, proper trainings to manage their voice or their vocal cords or vocal placements, right? In fact, there was once I think one of the leaders in the organization said, "Hey, you know what? If you speak loudly, the transmission of your saliva goes further." And then I said, that's wrong, right? The loudness of the voice has nothing to do with how far your speed goes. How loud your voice goes is the control of your cricoid cartilage. Basically, the cartilage here is how you expand out, right? So there's something really interesting. Learn more about voice. Let me know. Okay, yes, get a good mic as well. An ordinary mic would be good for you if you're doing coaching, mentoring, especially virtual. Really important, more important than a video camera. Okay, now any specific techniques in delivering messages are important in coaching. How do you control speed, excitement during the whole conversation? One of the most important element is this. Just that, right? Just wow, that pause, right? That wow, that anticipation, that is actually really important. Yeah, I covered that in one of the videos that you can check on YouTube as well. You just type Coaching Changes Life, subscribe to that, hit the notification bell because we have a lot of videos there. One of the important message in coaching, it's the less you do, the more you do, right? The less you do, give the space to the client. I know we're very tempted to, when it's very quiet, we want to say something, right? Very tempted to do that. Give the space to the client, hold the space. My rule is this: after you release your question, give 3 seconds. You count 1, 2, 3. No response, wait another 2 more seconds. Okay, yeah. So if 3 seconds is very long for you, wait another 2 more seconds. Now, if you notice no expression from the client, that's when you can do a little bit of non-verbal, like this. Oh. Yeah, just a little bit non-verbal to just trigger the client. And if you notice the client's thinking, give them some time. Okay. Now, after the client has finished saying, don't be too quick to respond. Give about 1 to 2 seconds after the client's expressed, because sometimes the client's catching their breath. And then after 1 to 2 seconds, then respond to the client. Okay, so how can we go about if clients are not receptive to answering our questions? Now, that happens when there is not enough rapport or trust in that conversation. I will take a step back. I will say, hey, Mr. Klein, apologies if I've accidentally stepped on a sensitive topic. Let's just circle back to the outcome into this conversation. Always going back to the outcome. If you've accidentally stepped on a sensitive area, how do you know that? When the client becomes more and more closed, or when the clients are not receptive to opening up themselves, right? That's when you know that you've touched probably a particular area that's more sensitive to the client. In my next session, I would love to try the possibilities of how the question if can open up. If you could try in your next session, when would the next session be? If you had an option to try this next session, when would the session be, right? So you could use this, right? Try them with your children, try them with people, right? Now, of course, you don't want to irritate people right? So, if are you, that's it just irritates people, right? You want to use them what we call judiciously. There are very many different tools out there, very much like a sushi chef. The precision of your questioning matters more than the techniques itself, right? In fact, I have a whole book on techniques which I cover in all the different training programs that we run. But I always say this, right? Be a master of 1 or 2 techniques and go deeper. Coaching fundamentally is one of the very, very important element in every conversation. Every leader should learn coaching. Every single person, whether you're a leader or manager or team player, everyone should learn coaching because it improves your conversation, right? Listening skills, questioning, reflecting, really, really important skill. Yeah. So try this. If. Now, one of the important elements when you're giving if, make sure you don't have if or. Okay. If you do if or, for example, after tonight, if you could choose a supper, would you choose McDonald's or would you choose pizza? That is an if or. I've just restricted you to 2 choices, right? That is what we call leading the client. That's too narrow. Now you could expand it. Hey, you know what? If you had a choice for any supper, what would you choose? That's an open. Now I can make it, let's say I have 2 choices, right? How can I make the 2 choice a little bit more open? I can do this. If you have a choice to choose between the supper, between McDonald's or pizza or something else, what would that be? So I give a way of escape in the third option, right? Something else. Those are some options for you to try this out in your coming week. And then what I encourage you to do is this: to make learning more integrative, I want you to share with me, right? Post in my comment on LinkedIn or wherever, and just say, I tried this out, it worked, it didn't work, right? How can I refine it better? Another person asked this question: client resistant to exploring possibilities and only wants us to give solutions. What questions can unlock resistance? Now, when that happens, I mentioned earlier, it's probably you have gone too fast, too deep. And I always say you need a little bit, of warm up, right? Think about anything, right? Anything that you do, you want to have a little warm up. If the client is not warmed up to you, or if they feel unsafe with you, they will never, never, never open up with you. The resistance is a feedback mechanism to tell you the trust and safety is not established yet. So you still need to cultivate the trust. What I will do there is not go deeper. I will stay at the surface level. Let's talk about the outcomes. Let's stay at the surface. Okay, once the client feel a little more comfortable, then we go a little bit more deeper. Okay, so sometimes one of the best ways is that there's always what we call perceived trust. When a client first meet you, there's always a perceived trust. Based on what they read about you online, they have a certain perception of you. Now, when they interact with you, then that perceived trust, it's kind of rebalanced out, right? And they feel whether they trust you or not. Yep. So this is something that we need to work on constantly. Now, in my breakout room, I was telling our friends there, I said, hey, if you want to create a safe space and you want to make the person feel that it's safe and it's confidential, do not use the word confidential. Do not use the word within these four walls. These are a no word. Okay, can you imagine? I tell Gopalan, in these four walls, our conversation will stay in these four walls. That is a conversational killer. The moment you tell that to someone, the person feels, hey, okay, why are you saying that? Are you telling me that you have sneaky sushi out some of my conversation outwards, or is it something else? Right? It sounds so. Remove this word. No, don't even say it's a safe space. You don't have to tell someone it's a safe space for them to feel it's a safe space. We create an environment for the person to feel safe. Yeah. Now, what do you do if the client is a danger to themselves or herself? Have a hotline with you on your phone. Whether you're a mentor, a leader, a coach, a social worker, a healthcare worker, whichever, always have a hotline with you. So, for example, in your own local municipalities, like I belong to the municipal of Admiralty, right, at the upper northern regions of Singapore. So Singapore is a huge geographical location. I belong to the northern municipality, so that's where I reside in. So every state, every country has its own local support system. For example, in Singapore, you have the SOS, or the Samaritans of Singapore. You have also the hotline for suicidal cases. Beyond all things, if you forget any number, there's still 999, 995 to call, right, which is the local number. In your own countries, there's respective hotlines for you to call. That is very important for us, right? Especially when a client is a danger to themselves. First thing is this: don't try to do anything first. The first thing for the coach is always coach safety first, then client safety. Not client safety, then coach safety. Why? I've been in many situations where the client is holding a sharp object, right? And you need the coach safety first. If you go in there, the client pokes you the sharp object, then you are in a difficult situation. Yeah. So now, if you're not, and one of the things, especially for this generation, for gentlemen and ladies, always, if you are meeting your clients face to face, always choose a location where it doesn't compromise you. The last thing you want is to do behind a closed door. The person accuse you for doing something. It's going to be really hard. I tend to do coaching in open space where there's a public setting, right? So it really protects you a lot, right? Over the Zoom meetings as well. You also want to make sure that there is a safe space with the person, and always hold your conduct to the highest level as well. Yeah. Okay. Great. If you have more questions, I welcome more questions. Simply just head over to our YouTube channel. Just post the questions there. I will tend to reply those questions as well. How many of you enjoyed this session tonight? Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. You guys survived. Time flies. What we want to do first is we're going to take a photo together, because it's incredible to have everyone here tonight, and I really want to thank all of you for taking your time out. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the camera, and I want you to head over to the button below under reactions. Press the three dots. This time, you're not allowed to press heart shape, clap, thumbs up, or anything there. Press the three dots, choose an emoji. Choose something different, okay? Right? Don't choose the same thing, always heart shape. Choose something else, right? You can choose a whale, or choose something else, okay? So let's find one that you enjoy, one of the emojis there, right? Scroll down and find an emoji that best represents you this evening. And after all the learnings, it can be a flower, it can be anything. You find one, okay? And we're going to invite everyone to turn in the cameras for this photo together, okay? You guys really don't miss this photo out, because if you turn on your cameras, you will win a special prize. A mentoring session with Mentor Alliance, okay? or a coaching session with Jordy. Okay, so here we go. I think Celeste is going to help us with this photo. Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. Okay, everyone press the emoji again.
Okay, ready? Emoji.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, thank you everyone, and let's take a look before we go. One final look at all your wishes. You know, this is amazing. I love you guys. You guys have posted. Do take time to read. We'll screenshot this for all of you. Really, really well done for everyone. Really amazing, and really appreciate everyone for tuning up on a Friday evening. Who would have thought you spend your Friday evening with us, learning together, and give us a round of applause. You guys are amazing. Okay, look forward to impacting more lives because coaching truly changes lives.